if you look at only one angle, you're missing all the others. So for me, it's always about the contribution coming from different angles of life. And because if you're focusing only in one, then it's going to be only one dimension. But those who embrace, those who are really looking into so many directions in life, really can benefit from it. If you have the right personality in place, if you have the right character in place, this is where you show yourself. And I mean, show yourself. The more you give, the more you get. I literally, truly believe in it. In your mind, you're already there where you want to be. So now think as if you're already there and not where you are right now. Where we are right now, it's where we are very limited, limited by time, limited by money, limited by circumstances. We are very limited now. But in the future, when we think from the future, we are unlimited. We are unleashed.
Welcome to another exciting episode of the podcast, The Thought Leader Revolution. I'm your host, Nikki Ballou. And boy, do we have an incredible, exciting guest lined up for you today. Today's guest is a leading high-level executive in the world of business and in the world of high-level real estate. And he is also a top thought leader when it comes to creating personal development and success. I am speaking, of course, of none other than the one, the only, the legendary David Zaltzman. Welcome to the show, David.
Hey, I'm so glad it's recorded so I can show everyone that I know what you just said.
Good to have you here, my brother.
Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me, Nikki. Appreciate it.
My pleasure. So, David, this show is designed for the entrepreneur. This show is designed for the man, the woman who has a heart, a desire to be of service. We are champions for freedom, free expression, and free enterprise. And the people listen to the show, not because of me, because I'm here every week. They're here present for you. They want to know what you have to say. They want to know what you're all about. They want to know if what you have to say is going to make a difference for their business and their life. But before they can give you their full attention, they got to get to know you. So tell us your backstory. How'd you get to become the great David Zaltzman?
So, it's coming from so many angles that can come in life, because if you look at only one angle, you're missing all the others. So for me, it's always about the contribution coming from different angles of life. And because if you're focusing only in one, then it's going to be only one dimension. But those who embrace, those who are really looking into so many directions in life, really can benefit from it. And this is not the opposite of focus, by the way. I'm sure we can talk about it. But let me tell you, just to you and to everyone, just a bit about myself. I'm David. I'm married. I have three boys. I live in Toronto, and most of my early childhood, I lived in Israel. And this is where I studied. This is where I went to the army. I was 5 years in the army as a soldier, commander, officer. And from there, I started to explore the world with studying in Canada, in Israel, in the US, really looking for everything I can grasp from either university or courses or mentors. So I started with a very basic law degree, then I went into business, and then I really discovered the world of real estate, hospitality, hotels, investments, and this is where I'm focusing today. So I'm happy to share, from my experience about every step that I made, because it's not about my university. Yeah, university added. It's not about specific course. It's not even about specific mentor. It's always about the holistic approach that we get from everything that we have experienced in our life.
So when I met you, you were the president of, I think it was Skyline Investments, right? At that time?
Vice president, true.
Vice president, right. You worked with the founder, Gil Blutrick, and you were helping him in his process of expanding and growing that business. And that business owns some of the most iconic properties in Ontario at the time, right? I think he had King Edward Hotel. He also had what was the
Also
name of that?
Resort,
Horseshoe Resort. Yeah. All those.
Deerhurst Resort.
Deerhurst. Yeah, I stayed there. That was fantastic. I love Deerhurst. It was great.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
actually, you mentioned Gil, and here is just a small example for how leaders in the business community can really change your life. And this is what he did for me. Because when we met, I was a lawyer, I was a general counsel in his company, but he saw something in me that I didn't. And this is the greatness that we have in every one of us, but also in every one of the people that we work for or we work with. And he saw something for me and he told me, David, leave the office full of papers, go to management, go to leadership. And this is where I started my life on the management level and then executive leadership levels. And this is really one path that I discovered because someone opened a door.
That's amazing. So,
It is.
how long were you at Skyline and with Gil for, and what happened next?
Yeah, it was 5, 6 years, and then I moved to a bigger company in Minto, where I managed all the hospitality properties for the company in Toronto, in Ottawa, where you have thousands of opportunities to meet with other people. When you open your door of a hotel or a suite or apartment or furnished apartment, it doesn't matter. You discover again the people behind the door. And this is where, in every job, in every position that you are, you meet other people, other executives, other customers, other consultants, other vendors. And this is where you really open your world to a new scheme of really understanding how others are managing their business, how others are growing their business. I had the opportunity to serve an amazing family, the Greenberg family out of Ottawa, where this is again the opportunity that we have to learn from great business owners and leaders that are taking their business from one level to the next level, and you as a servant helping them to do so.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. So, what happened after Mintos?
Yeah, so Minto was, I think, 9 years of opportunity to serve the company in different provinces, then to Alberta even, and to other. But and then I got an offer from a Hong Kong-based company that really was looking for a leader in the Canadian market to help them explore, not only to be better at their own operations, but also to go to other dimensions of business here in Canada with um, uh, different venues. And this is a Hong Kong family that is serving in 27 countries. This is the Plaza Premium Group. And the family, again, from Hong Kong, this is how they are expanding their business, expanding their hospitality venues of restaurants, hotel, airport lounges in different continents. They're actually in every continent. Right now, they have a business. So this was great. 4 years where, again, understanding this business from a family that is not in Canada, not in North America, but in the other side of the world, in Hong Kong, doing business for them. And after 4 years today, I'm vice president in a company, Canadian company here, Manga Hotels. And this is brilliant company that combines real estate and hotels with many brands like Intercontinental, Plaza, Crown Plaza, Hilton, Delta, Marriott, so much that they can take. And buy hotels, put the right brand in place, put the right people in place, put the right leadership in place to serve thousands of guests every day of the week.
Wow. So that's pretty impressive, David, because let me say this, right? It's not every day that I get to have a conversation with a true leader in business who has come up the ranks, starting in a non-leadership capacity, general counsel, moving into leadership. And in one particular industry, you've established yourself truly as an expert and a thought leader. And I'll tell you, I love that you wrote a book on personal development, but I tell you for myself, I listen to you and I think to myself, I'd love to chat with you about this offline, because I think that all the knowledge and expertise that you have can be used for benefit to your employers, but also to your benefit if we make you a thought leader in all of this space. Everything you have and can be taken and put in the form of your brand forward around what you know about real estate and hospitality. It could be put in the form of some books. And tying this up with entrepreneurship and success, it could be put in the form of a podcast, even for you, maybe a YouTube channel that is attached to the brand that you have with the company. I think that this is incredible. How many people have the type of background that you have? You've been in this industry for 20 years, close to 20 years right now, if not that. And your level of knowledge and expertise and understanding not only can be helpful to the people who run these companies and have different companies, it can be useful to any entrepreneur looking to be involved in business. So this is incredible from my perspective.
Thank you, Nikki. I appreciate it. I want you to think about it from an angle of an immigrant coming to Canada, start a new, fresh life. And this is where our personality and our character is more important than anything else. People that come to a new country, they think, oh, I don't have the language. Oh, I don't have the local diploma. Oh, I don't have this. I don't have that. This is all BS. I'm sorry. I don't buy anyone's excuses. If you have the right personality in place, if you have the right character in place, this is where you show yourself. And I mean, show yourself. And with this in mind, helping other people to grow their business or developing your own business, it doesn't matter. Methods are the same. If people are thinking that employees or executives are different from business owners, it is not. As executive, the business that you have is like mine. I treat any business that I manage as if I am the shareholder. So with this in mind, this is your true contribution to the company, and this is where the commitment from the company, from the shareholders, will always be greater. The more you give, the more you get. I literally, truly believe in it.
This last thing that you said is very powerful, and I wanted to just emphasize it for a minute. You said the more you give, the more you get, right? And I do two podcasts. I have this business podcast, but I also have a podcast for men. And last week, I did an episode on the other podcast about the whole episode was about this topic of giving and getting. Perfect. And I tell you, I should send you this episode to listen to. Now, it's not a business podcast. It's a little bit, direct if I tell you this, but I think the message was very powerful because the fellow I had on, a fellow by the name of Steve Richmond, was talking about how people participate in programs. He leads workshops and courses and things like that. And he said that if you're in a course and you're just sitting back waiting for the information to come at you, you're not going to get as much as if you're sitting on the edge of your seat. You got a notebook. You're taking detailed notes. You're asking questions. You're offering insights to other people in the course. He says, if you participate like that, you're going to get so much more out of the course. Whatever goals you had for the course will be multiplied in terms of what you receive. And I just remember, I love that topic so much because it was brilliant. And that's just what you said. You know how God sent you the same message from different messengers? He's telling you, pay attention, dummy, pay attention.
That's so true. I have to tell you, Nikki, I learned one concept from one person that you know. His name is Franco Lofranco.
Yes.
He he is my mentor for the past, I would say, 9 years. And here is what I want to tell you. I learned from him a lot of things, but one thing that I learned from him is everyone is so busy in doing, what to do, what to do, what to do. Well, we are not human doing. This is what he taught me.
Yeah.
We are human being. So before you're going to focus on doing, ask yourself, who are you being? Meaning, who am I being? Who am I? And this is completely goes hand in hand with everything that you said, because it's not about what we know, it's not about what we learn, it's not about what we are doing, it's who we are and the character and the personality that we develop along the way. We grow from one relationship to another, from one position to another, from one location to another. We grow and we grow. So this is where our personality takes the leadership in everything that we do.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's very good. It's very good. Um, Someone's listening to this and they are interested in taking their career, their business to another level. And if you are talking to somebody who's already successful and you're telling them, okay, you want to take your success from point A to point B. Let's say you have a good business, you make, I don't know, $250,000, $500,000, $1 million a year. You get to serve a lot of people. You love what you do, but you feel you're meant for more. You want to double that, triple that, both financially, both the impact you're going to have on people, and both in terms of the personal fulfillment you get what you do. What would you say to that person is the first thing they need to focus on right away in order to set that in motion and make it happen?
You don't make it easy, Nikki. One thing. Here is what I can tell you. Yes, develop the right relationships.
Mm.
I'm telling you that if people want here that are listening, that want to take their career to the next step, most probably this will not come to any one through resume sent in any recruiting platform. Listen to me, Nikki. Someone here wants a better job, better salary, better opportunity, better position, better company, whatever they are looking for, most probably they will get it not from sending resume and hoping to be one out of 3 or 4 or 700 resumes that are on the desk of the hiring manager. The best position, this is my career, and I can tell you from my career, the best positions came from developing relationship with decision makers.
Yeah.
Now, develop relationship is not easy. It sounds easy. Oh, maybe I send here a text or send here an email or Happy New Year. I think it's much more than that. And my advice to everyone who is looking for the next step is to really, in a selective way, in a very meaningful way, to choose the 5, 10 people that you want to be in touch with intentionally and really contribute to them, not asking what they can do for you. This is not the right conversation. It's always about what you can assist them with. A new product launch, maybe to be part of it. It doesn't mean to take a job. A new survey that is being sent to people, be part of it. A new committee of volunteers, be part of it. Find the right way in conferences, in seminars, in every opportunity to showcase What is your benefit to the person that in front of you? What is the benefit that you can give to their launch or to their product or to their service or to their company? And this is where it will come beneficial so much. And again, give and get. We are always coming to the same point, Nikki. And this is what my first advice. I have many, but this is you ask for one, you'll get one.
Well, give us some more, but I really like this one. You see, I've been reading a lot of the work of an author by the name of Stefan Aarnio. Stefanaarnio. Now he passed away in 2020, and he was a very young man when he passed away. But he rose like a meteor, like a rocket before he died. He was only 33 when he died, but he created two very strong multi-million-dollar businesses. And I highly recommend that you study Stefan Aarnio and his work. It's incredible. But he was talking about the three types of capital that we all can have. Number one is the obvious one, real capital, money, investments, etc., liquid capital. Two is intellectual property. This is what I was briefly chatting about with you before in developing your brand, developing your expertise, putting it out there, using that in order to create additional success for yourself. The third one is what you've been talking about, which is social capital, your network, your relationships, your ability to leverage those relationships. There's very few people I know that have all three. A lot of successful people have money and relationships, but not much intellectual property capital. A lot of other people I know have good intellectual property, maybe a little bit of money, but they don't have really great social capital. When you can develop all three of those areas of capital, that is when your ability to take your business, your life, everything to the next level explodes and move to another level from my perspective. I'm wondering your thoughts on that. And then after you give me those thoughts, I'm going to ask you for more things people can do to take their business and their career to the next level.
I have only one word to tell you. Brilliant.
You like it? Good. I'm glad. It's good stuff. Well, listen, it wasn't me. It was another guy who came up with it. I just take the concepts and I massage it a little bit and put it out there, but it's good stuff. So what else? What else do you need to do in order to take your career, your business, your opportunity to the next level?
Develop your language. What I mean by that is when people hear you, when people listen to you, they must get something from you. If you just say things just to be heard, but nothing is, conceived on the other side of the conversation, it's a waste of time. And this is why I invested a lot of my time along the years into the language of leadership. I really think that leadership is a language that will move others. Because what is leadership? In the end of the day, it's two things, leadership. Leadership, first of all, is reframe all the time. So when you are a position of leader in job or in a company or in a business, it doesn't matter. You have two roles as a leader. First one is to reframe all the time. But if you don't have the right language to do it, what people will hear? So reframing all the time. And the second one, this is something that Napoleon used to say, is to give people hope.
Yes.
So when you reframe all the time, what is reframe? You show reality. You show people this is your world. This is your role in the world. And in the other side, you show that it's possible. You give them hope. These two things are incredibly important when you lead to your next, but to the next level. But again, it's all coming back to language of success. And why I'm saying that, Nikki, is because we can go to few researches that were done in different institutes in the world that really connect, undeniable connection between what we say and what will happen to us as we grow. One of them, I'll talk about two very quickly because it's mind blowing, Nikki. The first one, it was done in the Navy. A research that was done in the Navy. They took in the first day, they took 500 soldiers in their first day, and they did for them a test that is only vocabulary test. Guess what? After 5 years, what they found, that those who got the top 10% in the test, in the scores, they got to the most high position within 5 years. Undeniable connection. Language. The second one, it's a nice one. It was done by the Human Engineering Lab and Stevens Institute. They took 100 new employees in their first day of work in a very big company. They did a vocabulary test. Guess what happened to them after 10 years? Not only in this company, but in other companies. The 10% that got the highest vocabulary scores got to the most executive levels in different companies. Why I'm saying that? Because again, it's what we do with the words that we share with others. So we have to be very intentional what language we use, and this is why I was happy during the pandemic to dive into and write a book about it. It got me excited because whenever I'm going to a presentation or a board meeting, you know what I'm preparing, Nikki? I'm preparing a piece of paper. It's all in my notebook of all the terms that I want to use. When you're equipped, when you have the ammunition to go to a presentation and you're going to use terminologies that the other side will appreciate, because you have to be very intentional here, you gain the benefit that no other person has.
That makes sense. That makes brilliant sense. I really like it. This is good. Language is powerful. The language of leadership is a very powerful concept. And you know the quote from Napoleon, giving people hope, it's one that I've heard. Incidentally, my father, his name was Napoleon. He was named after the great man. So
wow, okay.
Yeah. Napoleon Bilou. And I just finished reading earlier this year this biography. Leaders are dealers in hope. That's the exact quote. So,
dealers of hope. True. Absolutely.
Yeah. No, it's fantastic. All right. Give me more. What's another thing you need to do in order to take your business and take your career to the next level?
I think that the next one is when you think, always think from the future. A mistake that we're doing right now, one of us, is that what they think is they look at their current position, current circumstances, current situation, and they analyze it, and they want to go to the next level and hopefully putting the right strategy. What I learned is when you think from the future, you make the best decisions, meaning you don't surrender yourself to circumstances right now. Why? Because you're already there in your mind. In your mind, you're already there where you want to be. So now think as if you're already there and not where you are right now. Where we are right now is where we are very limited by time, limited by money, limited by circumstances. We are very limited now. But in the future, when we think from the future, we are unlimited. We are unleashed. We have full potential to go ahead. And this requires time. Nikki, think from the future, it doesn't come immediately. But if you force yourself to think from the future every time that you need to make a decision, you will see how different the result is if you're thinking right now or if you're thinking from the future.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. I love it. I love it. I think this is brilliant. This is brilliant, man. So you've given us some really good stuff here. Okay. First
Yeah.
of all, you spoke about the importance of developing your character, your personality, and then developing the right relationships, and then developing your language in a very powerful way, the language of leadership, and then always think from the future because that's the place of possibility while the present could be the place of limitations and circumstances. Brilliant, 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 brilliant stuff. So, David, someone's listening to this and they're interested in finding out more about you, about your book, about the way that you interact with the public and help them. What is the best place for them to do that?
So first of all, they can always contact me on LinkedIn or Instagram or Facebook. Happy to be connected to someone who is listening to you. That's quite a character for sure. And yeah, and the secondly is happy to comment or to talk to you about my book. I have it here, The Language of Leadership. This is my book. Last year it was
I want a signed copy, brother.
done. Last year it was a bestseller. So I'm very happy to share my thoughts with everyone.
Great, 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 great. So we'll make sure we put the links for that out there for people. And so as we're looking to wrap up this podcast, David, we ask you to give our listeners 3 what we call expert action steps. These are really good, powerful pieces of advice that they can use to take their life or their business to another level. So what say you?
So I would say self-development. Don't ever stop. In every position, in every situation, it's always about what we feed into ourselves, self-development. This is the second one. This is the first one. The second one, I would say, if you have a team under you, always challenge your team. I think the best feedback I got from one of the managers that worked for me in Minto, he came to me saying, David, I feel that I cannot rest with you. Every time I feel that I'm accomplished something, I'm happy to share, we celebrate, and then the next day you put me in front of my next challenge. And this is the best feedback I think I could get from anyone. And really, the third one is about our life. I'm sure you know the quote, life is not happened to you, but for you. So always positive, positive, positive. Everywhere you go, this is about life that is happening for us.
Yeah, I love it. This is fantastic. These are excellent, excellent pieces of advice. So we're going to make sure we put all this information in our show notes. And listener, David Zaltzman, fantastic man, incredible man. I think I'm going to call this episode An Immigrant's Tale of Success. With all the amazing things that you've said, we're going to make sure that people have a chance to listen to it. We'll make sure we put in the show notes a place they can go and check out your book and, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. Guys, you should fully take advantage of this. It's incredible because not very many people who come on the show say, yeah, connect with me. I'd love to connect with you. This is a high-level individual, and he's giving you an opportunity to connect with you. And here's the sad part, David. I know almost everybody won't do it. They're going to get shy. They're going to go, oh, my God, then he didn't mean it. That's not going to happen. But he means it. David is a man of his word. If he says he wants you to connect with him, do yourself a favor and connect with him and make sure you have a conversation with him. It'll really make a massive difference for you and for your life. So do that. David, it's really great to have you here on the show. I'd love to have you back. This was a great conversation. Be great to pick it up again and explore these topics more deeply. So thank you.
Nikki, the son of Napoleon. Thank you so much.
I love it. And that wraps up another exciting episode of the podcast, The Thought Leader Revolution. To find out more about today's incredible guest, the one and only David Zaltzman, please make sure that you go to wherever you listen to this podcast, be it Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, or what have you, or just go to our website, thethoughtleaderrevolution.com. Until next time, goodbye.
This episode has been brought to you by eCircleAcademy.com, the proven system to add 6 to 7 figures a year to your thought leader practice.